Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Vinland Saga. Last time around we had two paths where basically Canute was like, oh, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to try to stop me from what I'm doing? And Thorfinn was like, nope. If you keep doing this, I'm just going to run. And caught everybody off guard. But Thorfinn was basically like, no, I'm going to keep running until I am out of places to run. Then and only then would I fight you. And Canute was completely blown away by this. And he stopped listening to the voice of his father in his head and started to see the light of Thorfinn. And was like, you're going to go and try to make a place for, all the misfits, all the oppressed few, And he's like, you know what? I can't make more work for you. I can't do this. So he stood down. The farm is going to remain with Ketil's family, at the very least Almar. And yeah, Canute canceled his plans to acquire more farms. He disbanded most of his army, mainly the part in England. And the English people were like, okay, we can work with this. And they bowed down to their new king, now that he wasn't a military presence in their country. So yeah, things actually worked out. Canute's a good boy again, which is good. And yeah, things all worked out. Then Thorfinn and Einar said their goodbyes. I gotta sneeze. No, I don't. Thorfinn and Einar said their goodbyes to the folks at the farm. And, yeah, they headed off. We're headed somewhere, not here. So that's pretty much where we left off. We're on the final episode of Season 2. Oh, I'm excited, but at the same time, I don't want this show to end, I want to keep going. I'm so ready for Season 3. I hope it gets released soon. At least sometime next year would be nice. But, I don't know. But yeah, that'll be it. We'll be watching this episode, have the discussion, and at the end of the episode, stick around and you will get, I was going to say a tease, but I'm just going to straight up tell you what we're doing next week. But that'll be at the end of the video. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure, so let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Vinland Saga. Here we go. At the end there, in the montage, you see this shot of someone putting flowers on a grave. Now, that clearly wasn't Arneid's grave. That was something else. Then you see a young man with armor. That wasn't... Hang on. No, that is absolutely Askeladd. I think? Unless this is teasing a character for Season 3. It's entirely possible that's teasing a character for Season 3, but I don't know. I think it's Askeladd as just a vision of that, But I could be wrong. I guess we'll find out next season. Why'd he cut his hair though? That's the only thing. Why'd he cut his hair and shave his beard? What was wrong with that? What was wrong with how you looked, man? What was wrong with how you looked? It's only slightly disappointing as a guy with long hair and a beard. I like facial hair in fiction. I know that's a weird thing, but maybe it's just because I have a beard, but it's just like, I like it when a character will grow a beard after some time, I just think it's nice. I like it, and probably having to do with having a beard. Myself having a beard. I've had this beard for over 10 years now, so oh well. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. His new look is fine. I just wasn't prepared for it. So okay. One thing I want to do, and I'm not going to go back in the video on Crunchyroll, what I'm going to do... We'll cut ahead. Whose head is that? Dang it. I'm gonna need the arrow. I need the freaking things. Hang on. Okay. So I opened. I went and found this OP, this season's OP, on YouTube, because I didn't want to go back on Crunchyroll, because then it thinks I haven't watched the episode, and it's all a thing. Who is this dude? Who is this dude with the freaking... I don't even know what you call that. A ponytail beard? I don't know. All season, I have thought, is that Einar? And luckily it's not. It's not Einar. I don't know who this guy is. Mainly because it was the clothes. And so I was like, well, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look and see if it's Einar, because then that could be a spoiler. So I was just like, So it's not Einar. So I've just like kept it in the back of my head. It's like, I hope Einar doesn't die this season. Good news, he didn't. So I don't know. That's just a dude. So I don't know. Alrighty. Alright, new look Thorfinn. Alright, if we're going by he has to have a new look every season, I guess that's fine. Plus, I mean, this harkens back to his original look when he was a kid, But see, I wouldn't want to do that. I would not want to shave my beard. Granted, he's like, he's got like good, like a good chin, a good jawline. He's all handsome and stuff. Me, if you take away this beard, there's just a lot of white skin right here. A lot of pudgy white skin. I don't want that. I've never shaved my beard off since I grew it, so I'm just and I enjoy it. I enjoy this beard, so I'm probably never going to shave it off. I can accept it. It's just going to take me some time. Granted, it's going to be a while because, we're not getting to season 3 for a while, but I should see. Is there any word on when season 3 is coming out? Because I want to get to the next season, Vinland Saga season 3. This doesn't bode well. This is not boding well because there's an article from Radio Times from this October. So that's not doing very well. But apparently they are saying it's likely to get the 3rd season, which is good. So, okay, so season 2 came out 4 years after season 1. Okay, well, I mean, I'm sure part of that was COVID, but hopefully it doesn't take that long. Hopefully it doesn't take that long to get to season 3, because, I mean, this is still one of the greatest anime of all time, Just genuinely. And, I can't believe it took me 48 episodes to think of this, but this is The Lion King if Simba stayed with Scar, Instead of Simba going to meet Timon and Pumbaa, it would be like if Simba stayed with Scar. Now, granted, that would also have to mean that it's one where, like, Simba and Scar are not at Pride Rock, therefore he's not around the rest of his family, namely his mother. But you get the idea. You get the comparison. God, he's so handsome. Another thing? That scar is staying on his face, isn't it? That scar from when he got cut by Snake, or Roald, that's staying. So, but he did it. He finally made it home. So now, season 3, I'm assuming, is the get the money together arc, which is interesting. I'll be curious to see how that goes, but But he went home. He went home and found his mother and his sister again. 16 years. Good grief. 16 years, and he finally did it. He finally made it home. You know, I do really like that Helga and Ylva, they do, like, it really does just look like it's just 15 years later. That's it, you know? Like, there's nothing radically different about their designs. They look older. We just haven't seen the progression like we have seen with Thorfinn, you know? And I like that, because there is, you know, sometimes, I mean, it depends. Like, I feel like anime, and probably, like, just fiction in general, can be so inconsistent with how they age people up, you know? Like, like, sometimes, I mean, you'll see, like, a live-action TV show, and it's like, oh, here the characters are, you know, 20 years later, and it's like they have, like, a little bit of gray and nothing else. Like, maybe a wrinkle or two that was put on, but that's it. It's like, okay, I guess it's a little bit. But here it's like, no, they do look genuinely older. Not just, like, little touch-ups. It's like, no, they look older. They look 16 years older than when we last saw them. And then, you know, or, like, I think there's also the other extreme, which was Frieren. Which, Frieren is technically guilty of all of these, of both of these, but specifically, and this is in the first episode of Frieren, but with Himmel, where he's, you know, this young man, and then 50 years later, they age him up so much. It's almost ridiculous, but if anything, it's like, it was fucking 50 years later. And, you know, people can say, it's like, well, he had, like, this cursed object in his drawer, so, I don't know. But it's the same thing in Frieren, too, because there's another character where it's just like, boy, you aged way more gracefully than Himmel did, so. But yeah, and of course there's Frieren, who just fucking doesn't age. But I like, they actually, like, age them properly, I feel like. So. But he finally did it. I love he was freaking out, too. Like, while they were on the boat, he was like, oh my god, what do I do? What do I say? How do I do this? You know? And I love, too, that he gets there, and there's the men there. And it's just like, oh, well, if you used to live here, then what's my name? And he's just like, Faxi. He's just like, he probably didn't memorize all their names when he was a kid, you know? Like, he seemed to memorize Ari, probably just because he was the one trying to get with Ylva the most, you know? Like, he was the one that was around most of the time. And hey, you freaking follow up on, what was it, like, episode 3, when he's trying to ask Ylva to marry him when they get back or something. And it's just like, hey, it worked, I guess. It worked. They got married. They had 3 kids. It's great. And I love that Ylva was not convinced that this was actually Thorfinn. And B, when she was convinced it was actually Thorfinn, was still mad. Like, she hasn't changed at all. And I like that. I really like that. And yeah, just that hit, that punch to him, which granted he wasn't expecting. He wasn't prepared for that hit. But still, that may have been the worst, most powerful hit he has experienced in 16 years. And it was from his own sister, but hey, she got them strong genes just like he did, you know? Got all that muscle from good old Pops. Oh boy, oh boy. And he told them everything. He literally recounted 48 episodes worth of material to them. Everything from when they left, from Thor's death to leaving Ketil's farm. What a journey, man. What a journey from when we left this village to coming back, 16 years have passed. And just everything, I mean, he's met with the king of Denmark. Most recently, he persuaded the king of Denmark and England to chill. Like, that's incredible. Heck, he fought Thorkel multiple times. That's gonna be crazy for Helga. That's her uncle, you know? That was her uncle. And saying, and, you know, what a story that is, too, of, you know, like, yeah, so the guy that killed Thor's, our father, I tried to kill him for 11 years, didn't work. It's a whole thing, and honestly, he's not really a bad guy. Like, I don't hate him anymore, you know? It's just telling the stories of Askeladd. Just everything, my god. But now he's got now he's got his motivation to set up a country, to create a new country in Vinland. I hope the show ends with something like, you know, they still managed to do it to some capacity. Maybe they didn't stay in that spot on the East Coast, you know? Because from what I know of history, Thorfinn, the historical character Thorfinn, does set up a colony, but it is not successful, you know? And I mean, just the fact that that colony basically disappears. That colony basically disappears. And then 500 years later, that's when the rest of Europe starts going to the New World. I don't know. Is it too much to think? Is it too much to think, to hope, to wish that Vinland Saga, this is going to sound so stupid, has an anime and manga original ending? Because the original ending is what actually happened. I want to hope that the manga and the anime will finish with, and it worked, and they created the colony in Vinland, and everything was nice and happy and hunky-dory forever. And, you know, Europe, they stayed over there, they did their thing, World War I, World War II, but it was all over there. It was all over there, and in the New World, it was all nice and peaceful and good, and they were never the two shall meet, you know? Never the two shall meet. Because I'm sitting right now, my big old booty's planted right here, so far into the land that Thorfinn wishes to colonize and create as a peaceful civilization, a peaceful society for the misfits. And my big old booty sitting here in that place, and it is not that. It is not that. In fact, specifically where we are, maybe one of the, I suppose, Western countries more than ever that wants to not bring in people, you know? Because there's a lot of people in this land that would be like, no, we'd rather oppress them, you know? Bunch of terrible people. Now, there are so many people in America that are like, man, I'd love Vinland. I would love to go to Vinland. We're in the bad timeline. We are in the bad timeline where Thorfinn didn't succeed. I hope the show ends with the good timeline, just so we could see what may have been. Or maybe it'll end with an inspiring message of, like, even though he couldn't do it, that doesn't mean it won't happen, you know? I don't know. Maybe as as Thorfinn has taken up the mantle of Thor's, the dream of Thor's, perhaps now it is our turn. The problem is, what's a good place to do that? Where is left on Earth for us to do that? You know? Like, we need to find some uninhabited island or Antarctica, you know? Like, where can we go now? I don't know, man. But the future is in the past. Our boy got a haircut, he's shaved, and he's moving on. And thus, we will move on too. We'll take a break, and Season 3 will hopefully come around, and I will be so excited to watch Season 3. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time for Episode 1 of Black Clover. We're going 2 episodes a week, Sunday and Tuesday, 2 different videos. So yeah, next week, Episodes 1 and 2, Sunday and Tuesday of Black Clover. I will see you guys then. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Vinland Saga reactions if you want to go rewatch all of these amazing episodes, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.